Welcome back. The Two Alphas Talk. And tonight we're going to talk to you about the rules for a gunfight. There's not 100% one way or the other. We're just going to talk about it.
All right. And before we do that, we're going to thank our lovely sponsors.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Who's sponsoring this show tonight. And that is this company called, it's a new company. They haven't been around very long. But their name is SaberTeamTactical.com. Go to the website, go to the top right-hand corner, see classes, click on that, and
we have private one-on-one classes. That's a year-round thing. You pick the time, we'll confirm it, and we'll meet you on the range. And then you can see a host of classes that we had for 2022. Now 2023 schedule will be out sometime in January. So
yeah, we're in the process of working on our training schedule.
Mm-hmm. And our last class, don't forget that one, November. Scroll down a little bit.
Okay, let me scroll down. I'm doing like 1,000 things right now.
I know you are. That's why I'll just give you a prompt. November 12.
Yes.
We had 4 up to 4 now.
Technically, it right now we've got about 5 people signed up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not that signed up, but I got slots filled, and is possibility can take 2 more because I can always bump somebody, and right. I can probably take 2 more people for these slots. So,
I'm telling you, not just because, as you all know, I'm a part of the company, but not just because of that. It's an eye opener. Not only an eye opener for something that you're going to learn new, but you'll learn things about yourself as well. Things that you say or you may think that you can do, and when you get out there and do it, it's different. And then there's things that you confirm that, okay, I can do this. So definitely a positive class to attend if you can.
Yeah. And hit me up, hit Al up, and we get you signed up. Sign up if you can get out there and sign up now. Class is 2 weeks out. And so we can get this thing going. Click on the online store. I'm still debating if this store is going to be here in 2023. And so we got swag and all kinds of medical supplies and other stuff you can get. And also we make little plaques like this. Anatomy of the Pew. Look at that. They're deep groove, and they got some pretty good pricing, nice bass wood. And you guys need some novelty stuff in your home or your company, let me know, and we can hook you up. We see you guys out there. WK, thanks for the support. And Bruce, hello from Missouri. All right, there you go.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
So
we're going to talk about tonight. We've been going back and forth. Go ahead. I see your hand up.
Tonight we're on YouTube, the Two Alphas Talk. I just checked the stream. We're also on Rumble, Saber Team Tactical LLC. First time tonight we're on Rumble, and this is where we're going to be on both of these from now on, YouTube and Rumble, because Facebook and Twitch have been blocking us, and we can't get the streams on. And so say la vie to YouTube, and welcome to a new one.
There you go. As they say, water goes to least resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Just move around it.
Right.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about rules for a gunfight. And if you guys out there know, and anyone that's listening who watches in the future, there are no real rules. The rules of a gunfight is to prevail and win, right? That's it. But we're going to take a look at some things that we did some research, and there's different thought patterns, and I think most of you guys will agree with them because we do. There's some of it that we kind of will be kind of funny, but we're just going to discuss them, and we'll go down like we have a little list of them, right? So one of the first rules of a gunfight, beyond just having a gun, is to avoid gunfight. You know, you don't want to be in a gunfight. People who go around looking for gunfights are people who are really kind of sick in the head. And that's the people that we have to pay attention to. The big thing nowadays in the last 6 or 7 years, was it situational awareness. Everybody's worried about situational awareness, and all that really is just watch who's watching you, watch who's paying attention to you, watch who people come up and have conversations with you from out of the blue. Just the other day, I was at I forgot the name of the mall, but it's up by where Bass Pro Shops are, and I'm just walking through the food court, and I stopped and I'm looking, trying to figure out if I wanted to get a snack or something, and this guy walks up and says, "Hey, would you like to come to Sunday school with me?" And I
What
looked
kind of
at him.
Sunday school you talking about?
Exactly. I said, "No, Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm not
Yeah.
interested in it." I said, "No," and it just straight up. And he went to pull out a looked like one of those small Bibles. When he went to reach, I'm already moving to me to reach for my Bible, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" And I asked him, "So what are you doing?" And then it kind of threw him off base, and he said, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I just wanted to write something down for you. I don't want to talk to you." Is what I told him. I said, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't know you. Don't want to talk to you. Move on." And at
Right.
that point, he got the gist of what I was getting at, and he moved away. But I'm like, you just walk up to randomly to people and talk about, "Do you want to come to Sunday school?" No, I don't want to do no
Yeah.
damn Sunday school. Actually, I think he said prayer meeting, which is even probably worse because that could happen anywhere. But anyway, these are the things that to me at that point. I watched him. He went to other people. So it wasn't just like he isolated and picked me, but he went. I saw him talking to other people. So maybe he had a good cause. But if I want something, I'll go seek it for myself. I'm not going to take somebody's word as though, "Oh wow, this must be something I needed today." Nah, it's not, and nothing good can come from that.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I want to go to Sunday school. That's so funny. That's a good one.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
That's
I
a
said,
good one.
the next time we do one of those reality based trainings, I'm
Yeah.
gonna use that.
Yeah, that is a very good one right there. Yeah. Oh man, I'm excited about being on Rumble tonight. You don't know.
Okay, I know. I remember when you signed up and you had everybody else looking and investigating it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up there.
So like
Yeah.
this first one was forget about knives, bats, and fists. The second, the one of the main, all three of those are decent options if you don't have a gun, but not for a gunfight, for protecting yourself, right?
Right.
Because
That's why they
we all
said forget
know
about guns, knives, and bats and fists.
somebody within 10 feet of you with a knife, you might as well go ahead and try to fight them before you try to draw your gun
Right. And yeah, if you're 10 feet, you can fight them with your fist and knife.
until you can get a chance to get your gun.
Right. But there's some key factors in this. If you're going to go to a gunfight, bring a gun.
Right.
And probably at least two guns. Well, this was based on guns, raggedy guns back in the day. And probably revolvers.
Yeah, there's
Some-
another piece there down coming up that talks about that too.
Yeah. And they say bring all the friends who have guns.
Yep. Exactly. This is a
Yeah.
known gunfight, right? This is not
Right.
being at the gas station and being accosted by some weirdo. This is on Tuesday of next week. We're gonna have a
We're gonna
gunfight.
fight.
That kind of
We're gonna
situation.
fight.
Right?
I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna kick your
Right.
A. You
Or
know
we're
what I'm
gonna
saying?
meet at the big clock.
Right. But this is also a lot of people don't subscribe to even carrying their average gun.
See.
Bring
And now this is the part,
ammunition.
just real quick, because I know this is kind of, some of these things when we say it, it's going to be a little farcical, but we're going to bring it back to practicality. And what Al is speaking about right now is something that we've been preaching on. When we met, we both looked at each other and we were, sizing each other up. And then he's like, "Do you have a spare magazine?" And I pulled out a spare magazine. And of course, you can't see it here, where it is. Pulled out a spare magazine. And of course, he pulls out two. And then I'm like, "This motherfucker." So, but that was the key, The thing was, at least you had one. You know what I mean?
Right,
And,
right.
And I could see it in his eye because he was trying to get a gauge. Let me see what this guy's even worthy of me talking to him.
Right.
And then he's like, "You got you do carry a spare magazine?" Of course I do. And then of course here he pulls out two, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good idea."
Right. Yep.
See,
Keep two extra mags on you.
If one is good, two is better.
Because what if you run dry on that first magazine? Then you put the second magazine and you go and it gets a malfunction.
Right.
And now, were you going to try to fix that magazine, or you're just going to go to another magazine and keep get back into the fight?
What about the more realistic, right? And not to say what you said, but think about this: what about the magazines get shot, which
Yeah.
can happen? It protects you. You don't take a bullet, but the magazine takes a bullet.
All right.
You
Okay.
know.
All right. Look at there. He said Rod invited me here.
Thanks, Rod.
All
Rod's
right.
my guy. That's my
All
guy.
right. Thanks, Bruce, for coming. Hopefully we won't disappoint. You know.
We're gonna give it to him.
Yeah. So it comes down to that. You know, it's a lot of people only carry the firearm, no extra magazines, or just one magazine, like Al used to do. And so you got to carry.
Well, no, I never carried just one. I only carried one spare.
Carried 1.5.
I carried one spare. Never. Now, when I was a cop, I had one in the car, which wasn't good. But that I was never had any training. I never had any training on that. It was like you figured out as you go along, or you listen to some vets. And for me, one of the things that came about was learning that 80 to 90% of all failures or problems with firearms, or especially semi-automatics, are with magazines. So that's when I started carrying another one.
Right? Yeah, it used to be. Now.
Oh yeah,
the probability of semi-automatics working today is a lot higher than what it used to be in the 80s.
Absolutely. And that's when I started. It was exactly right. 1986. You think about Taurus, right? The current Taurus that are going or that are being sold today are they're superior to the Taurus of 1986 to 1995.
Oh yeah. I mean, even Glock today. From their first generation to now. Right. I mean, that's perfection, you know.
So, to some people.
Perfection. They shoot great. They work, but to pinpoint it and get that supreme pinpoint shot off, it takes a lot of work to do that.
All right. Well, since you brought that up, I saw this debate earlier today on Facebook, and one of the guys said that Glock is like a clean slate in order for you to fix. And he didn't mean, he said, and he can clarify it, not fix as in it's broken, but make it the way you want it to make it.
Better.
And I said, see, that's the problem.
Right.
I want the gun out the box. I never want to do anything else to it. I wanted to just right. I don't want to add a trigger. I don't want to add sights. I want the gun right off the top.
You don't have to do that with Glock. Glock runs. No, you don't.
You just said superior. The Glock stuff is basic. Those plastic sights, basic. Yes, they'll hold up over time. Yes, they'll function fine. But if you want superiority, you definitely gonna have to make some changes. You and I both know. What did Derek tell us last week? Off air.
I don't know what he told us.
I know you don't. You never know nothing. But anyway, he told us a nice fix that was on sale.
Oh yeah. Timothy
exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
I have one.
I got one now too.
And I got to get it put on.
Me too. I'm gonna put it on myself.
Oh, you gonna do that?
I'm an armor for
Glock. Put mine on too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have to do that with a even a Canic. And I've only shot a Canic maybe 20 rounds. I did feel a difference in the trigger. I can't say it's better, but I did feel a difference in the trigger.
Canic's trigger feels like
it was mushy, but at the same time it was smoother than my G17.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You won't admit it, but I will.
Yeah, I won't.
And trust me, I've been around Glock since the inception.
Yeah, I know. You was there when they started mining the plastic.
So when it was,
I know.
I was there when they were mixing the resin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they was trying to name the company, you know?
Exactly. Right. Back then we were calling it G-Lock.
Right. Yeah. It's G-Lock. All right. Rule number 2. Anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice.
Absolutely.
And a lot of you guys we get programmed by television Hollywood, where a person gets shot on television Hollywood, and we think that one round is going to do it, because it's another thing that tricks us once we get into the gun world is that stupid FBI ballistic test. And that's another thing, what they're only basing on one round in a what is that, block of gel?
Yep.
And what is it, 24 inches long?
60. The block is about 24 to 36, but they're looking for 36 inches of penetration.
Right,
I'm sorry, 16 inches of penetration.
Yeah. And so that will confuse you on actually hitting a target in real life. If you hit a target in real life, they won't bleed out in the front. You won't see a big blood splatter. You'll barely see a hole going through the person, especially if they got clothes on.
You're not gonna say any of that.
Yeah,
And
and
in some cases, it doesn't even affect them.
and yeah, they may. Yeah, I was about to say that you may not even get a reaction from them, and so it's gonna be very interesting. So that's why you have to push through and get the desired shot placement on them until the target actually stops.
Right.
Yeah. So we want to go with the questions, or we want to wait? What do you want to do?
Yeah, we got them into this week, but I see it because it at this point, if we said it later, it'll be kind of like
it'll be way too late. Right. All right. Yes, the Canic
TP9 DA double action is fire. Best triggers on a polymer pistol. Period.
It should be.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Explanation.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Explanation mark. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna throw another joker in the mix right now, and I just shot it today. I wasn't gonna bring this up, but the HK VP9 is the G45 in perfection. I know HK would probably be sued if they use that word, but I'm gonna use it because they don't know me. That thing was unreal, bro. And if Omar comes on, he can show you. I can show you the first 3 shots that I took with it at around. It was about
who owns that? Who owns it?
Who owns what?
Who owns one? You borrowed it from somebody because I know you don't own it.
See, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. When it's time for court, I want you to show up.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I broke
I'll
down.
Bring that
bro.
45 out there.
I'm telling you, dude. When I show you these shots, you're gonna go, "Are you kidding, dude?" And I was talking to Omar. I was talking to Omar while I was shooting.
15 yards, 20 yards.
I'm gonna go there next. 7 yards. I'm just talking and shooting, and I look up, and there's 2 already together. And I said, "Let me see if I can put this there." Now I focus. 3 on top. Clover at 7 yards, not paying attention.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Look at this. Now I know this person right here is a hellified Glock shooter.
I understand.
So it's like Glocks need no changes. God damn it. I shoot Glock right out the box. Perfect score.
Win
many matches.
Scores, win many matches.
Bros, range time, bros.
Absolutely. I got more trigger time behind my Glocks than any other guns. And it's to a point where if I bought another gun, I'd be a fool. And might as well be a fool. But I did. Anyway, my point is, I definitely agree with him, right?
Right.
As far as the range time is concerned. But there are enhancements that can be done to a Glock. Now, we're talking about competition. Yes. Talking about carry. No. The Glock right out of the box for self-defense is fine where it is. That 3-dot system is at that little square in the back in the circle.
Horrible.
You're looking for something for competition.
It's horrible.
For me, I'm old, man, and I like black
sights. You don't need a 3-dot system. You need the black in the back, and it needs to be a full white in the front, and or orange or green.
Yep, something contrasting. Yeah. But see, that's what I blacken all my sights out because that's how I learn. And I'm not changing that. Now I'm working on this dot thing, and that's gonna be
That's
fun.
horrible.
Oh man, you wait. No, red dot.
Oh, red dot. Yeah, me too. I'm coming up to red dot too.
Wait.
All right.
Look at this shit. You see the last one that just came in?
No, I'm not reading that one. I got so much stuff. Yeah, that's not even going on the air.
Oh jeez, what the hell? They can't block that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
They got us.
I take care of it.
Got them.
Yeah, Facebook. The FBI.
Go ahead. I'll take care of this. You
read
give
that. I'm gonna work on something.
The FBI gel does not account for clothing, bone, etc. Exactly. So you get that penetration, and it sounds great, but then you put somebody with a Parker or even not even a vest, but what is the other things like a quilted vest, and that penetration is not going to be the same. So and I've watched a couple of guys on YouTube that are pretty good, and they've started putting like boards, plywood, and boards in between the gel, some denim, things like that, so that it kind of simulates somebody wearing a coat, wearing a jacket to see, and it does shorten that distance when they do the original test. And you get, say, 18 inches, and then you do the next test, and you get 14 inches because the deflection of that bullet going through, especially when they start to expand, going through the debris, for the most part, prior to hitting the gel. So those are considerations, right? But I do appreciate some of the gel because you get I'm not gonna say proof positive, but you do get some evidence to say how this will react in a substance similar to the human body.
Right.
Right. So that whole point, all that we were just saying, is ammunition is cheap when it's compared to your life.
Yeah, it is. It's very cheap. So, yeah.
And that second part of that, I used to tell people all the time because they said they don't want to shoot buckshot in their house, or they don't want to shoot. They were shooting birdshot. I said that's going to leave more of a mess than buckshot. At least with buckshot, you got 8 pellets. You got a whole ounce of BBs all over the damn on your wall.
Right. So you believe the Canik TP series are HK knockoffs, and
they're actually Walters. They're Walters. You can actually interchange the Walter parts to the Canik.
Well, look at
Walter's a good gun too.
Look what the PSA came out with. They came out with the dagger, and that's the Glock clone, version 3, and Glock is not going to say anything about it. It's like, okay.
Well, they lost it. They already sued Smith & Wesson when Smith & Wesson did it.
Yeah, and they lost the court case.
Yeah. Smith & Wesson did, but Glock won.
Oh, okay.
Glock was paid by Smith & Wesson for many years. I don't know if it's still on, but they were paid because of I think it was the SDV or SVD, something like that. It's really not a great gun, but it was almost a clone of a Glock, except for the trigger. But everything, the internals, it all looked just like a Glock.
And so we did that. Yeah, ammunition is expensive today, and but you still got cheap.
Life is expensive.
Yeah,
compare even at 50 cents a round. I think my life is a little bit more valuable than maybe 55 cents.
Yeah, I don't care how much it costs. I'm gonna throw them on you. Only hits count. How you gonna know the hits? How you gonna know the hits? This is how you're gonna know. You're gonna notice the reaction on the person. If you hit them enough, there's going to be a body reaction, and if you hit them right, the body will stiffen up immediately, and they'll drop. Okay.
But that one with that, the only thing worse than a miss is a slow miss, and I think what that relates to is accuracy and speed.
Yeah.
Right? Because only hits count, so that's accuracy. And then on top of that, the one thing worse than a miss is a slow miss. So if you're taking this time and you don't make the shot, that's even worse than missing altogether.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. If
I love this one.
Yeah. All right. If your shooting stance is good, you're probably not moving fast enough or using cover correctly, which is true. I mean, you're standing right there and you throwing down, you looking good. I mean, you got all points.
One of the things I use when I teach use of cover is if you feel comfortable, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. You can get comfortable in an uncomfortable position, but if you start off, and I always stop them, and especially when they're using it inappropriately, and I look at them, I say, "Feel good? It's comfortable?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Look down at your feet." And they look down. I said, "You think you can? Anybody can shoot that shot? I mean, if I can make it, there's other people that can make it. Kneecaps exposed, and lower body exposed, but your head is behind the cover." So we got to reverse that, and people who don't know, they just don't know. You just got to show them.
Basically, you're trying to fight to cover. That's what you're trying to fight to, and you may be trying to. You can do it a couple of different ways. I'm not going to explain it all on here.
The second part, the number 5 is going to be right in what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, move away from your attacker and go for cover. Yeah. Move, go for cover. Distance is your friend. And that's why I always try to practice at long, anything 15 to 20 yards. That's why I try to practice at. Because if I can put on target at that yardage, I know the advantage is on me. Bulletproof cover and diagonal and lateral movement is preferred. And don't hide behind a plastic trash can.
Right.
Make sure it's something solid like a tree. Or if it's a car, don't hide behind the door. Hide behind the engine block or the wheel well.
Yep.
You know?
And that too, we say that, oh yeah, definitely, yeah, do that. But that's an eye opener for some people. Some people believe because they see it on television.
Mhm.
Cops get behind the
Doors.
car, but those are doors. Those are TV cops. And if you
Yeah.
remember, you and I can definitely remember, and I think Agent X out there can remember too. You should see Kojak and Starsky and Hutch. They would open the door
Oh yeah.
and then you put the gun out the
Yeah.
window of the door, the open
Yeah.
door, and use that little flank as cover. And
But
it's
they
like, are
showed,
you kidding me?
but they always showed the bullets ricocheting off the doors. You ever notice that?
Bullets
They're like,
ricocheting off
"Bing."
tables. Do you ever notice
Yeah.
that? You
Yeah.
got
They're
guys,
bing,
especially in
bing.
the older movies, they flip the table over, duck
Mhm.
behind a table, and this
Yep.
dude is shooting
Oh,
at them with a
oh no.
rifle,
Hold on.
and it's
Hold on.
deflecting.
I
Yeah.
seen one. They did it with a couch.
Yes.
They flipped the couch over and they were shooting using the couch as cover in a heavy gunfight, and nothing was going through the couch.
Nope.
I was like, okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's why I stopped watching TV.
And see
Yeah.
that what Rod just put up aligns exactly what we're talking about,
Okay, hold on.
because that's going to be the next one.
Yep. Go ahead and read it.
With pistol, my goal is headshots at 25 yards. Bad guys are wearing body armor now. Right now, I can consistently hit headshots at 20 yards, trying to work my way up to 25 and beyond. Absolutely.
You're a bad dude.
Yep.
You're a bad dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's always, remember, if you can't get the headshot, shoot in the below the navel. Because if you shoot anybody below the navel, between the groin and the navel, it automatically takes the uses out of your legs.
Mobility's gone.
Mobility out of your legs. So remember that if you can't get the head, because the head is at 8 inches at 25 yards, roughly, you're gonna see maybe about, what is it? You're gonna see about 6 inches of it through those sights.
It's going to reduce.
Yeah. So if you can't get it there, just aim at the body armor, and hopefully it hit down in the lower abdomen, and to get something out there.
And one of the other things too, when you can do your research on it and look at body armor. So the way you do the research is look at the body armor and see where it's strongest, and then see where it's weakest. Once
If they're wearing steel, it doesn't matter.
Well, once you
screwed.
don't. Even where's the weak spot? The edges.
Yeah, but
There's always a weak spot to everything, bro.
I wear a swimmer cut, and the reason I do it is because I can do this and shoot out of a car, right?
Yeah, I got you.
So the weak spot's here, but I wear mine high over my aorta.
Gotcha.
And but when you do that, I notice below my navel,
right,
it's all exposed.
That's what I just said. I'm not gonna tell people what to do. I'm just telling you what to look for on this research. I'm not gonna add. I can. Anybody that wants to know, just go ahead and email me at Instagram, and I'll explain exactly to you. But the thing is, that's the classic right there.
The Mozambique always works.
Drill, Mozambique.
If they're not wearing armor nowadays, clowns do wear armor.
But I'm gonna tell you something else that I do know, and then I like to see if how the audience feels about this. Just shoot them in the body on them anyway. Just shoot them in the body. Shoot them in their body. Armor. Shoot them where you normally shoot.
Soft body armor or old. You got to remember, soft body armor has a shelf life. What is it?
5.
It's 5 years. That's 5 right. Years.
Yeah.
And it starts to break. The Kevlar starts to break down.
Right. But listen to me.
All right.
Even if it's brand new, even if it's steel, it's think that somebody's going to just walk through that like RoboCop?
No.
Ding, ding,
not
ding,
on soft.
Ding, ding. Hey,
not on soft.
What about steel?
Steel, yeah, you will. It's been
You're
proven.
not going to walk through it. You're going to feel it, but it's not.
It's been proven. It's been proven. No,
that I've seen both sides.
It's been proven. The guy in Baltimore. The guy in Baltimore in the grocery store, and the guy hit him. He hit him in the back with body armor on. It didn't phase him. He turned around and laid the dude out.
You mean New York?
It was New York. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But that dude, it slowed him. It didn't stop him. It slowed him.
It slowed him from turning around.
That's my point. Is like
he didn't turn around in 1.2 seconds. He turned around in 1.8 seconds.
Okay.
But he turned around.
Right. My thing is this. Without high training,
right,
the ability to go and shift gears under pressure is less.
Well, he was trained.
He was a retired police officer.
No, I ain't
So,
talking about the guy who shot him. I'm talking about the guy who's doing the shooting.
oh yeah. He. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the reactor, not the active shooter, the
Okay.
reactor shooter.
Okay.
The guy trying to safeguard the other people inside the building. That guy. You start doing one thing, right? It's not working. You keep doing it.
No.
I, and some of the other folks on here will now realize it's not working and shift and go to the next thing. Follow
Right.
me? So when you practice 2 to the body, 1 to the head, and you see that the 2 doesn't work, you can go to the head. But if you've never done something like that, you're going to keep 3, 4, 5 to the body, and it's not going to be effective, but you're not
If you
going to
got
realize
18, empty 18, then get out of Dodge.
that.
That's what you do.
Yep. But
Yeah.
see, what I'm saying, because I've been talking to a guy out of South River, and one of the things that Tom, and one of the things that we've been discussing is pelvic shots, because his thing is that a lot of people who don't realize, and they think that that's a miss. And if somebody's wearing, as we're discussing right now, if somebody's wearing body armor, that is a perfect placement shot. And I'm talking about all those people who anticipate and shoot low. That is a zipper drill. Same thing. Exactly.
You jumping the line there, Al. All right, put something up.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Right. The Buffalo shooter, yes, that security guard was a retired police officer. He probably prioritized body shots first. It hits his body armor. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But the discussion between the two of us is will the body armor steal?
This is
body
my
armor?
philosophy.
What about ceramic? You want to talk about that?
Ceramic is bad too, because ceramic, you get one hit in ceramic, it cracks. If you can hit in the same placement, because ceramic, you can't wear it naked. You got to have soft body armor behind ceramic. So ceramic will, if you even drop ceramic, it's
I forgot what
destroyed.
it's called. It's
You need to take it down and have it X-rayed.
Yeah,
But
it's called. There's something when you drop it. It's
fractures, hairline fractures you can get into.
Yeah, but there's an overall term for that. It's compromised.
Oh yeah, it's compromised.
It's compromised,
and it's so expensive. Now P3 is talking about the zipper drill.
Yeah,
and
that's a good, and that's it, because that allows in training and then under stress to recreate the same thing that you already know that you can do in a stressful situation.
And let me say congratulations to you again for winning.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, do that applause thing, man. You got all those little buttons over there. Do applause. There you go.
Hold on. Let me see if I got something here.
By the way, these guys have. He has a team, and these guys, they won 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. That is dominance, bro. I mean, and I already told you the 18.
There you go.
The crowd goes wild. Hey, remember this section right here. I don't know what number it is, but you get 3320. So that way you can make a clip out of this, bro. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I'll make a clip. Yeah.
Yep. In 10 years, nobody will remember the details, caliber, stance, or tactics. They will remember who lived, though. That's true.
Here's one for you.
The low ghetto, shoot below the belt, right in the cojones, ding-a-ling. Yeah, yeah, and
it
you
works.
know that,
works.
and it's called low ghetto, but it's also that's the way the Italians used to do with the what's that little 22 that the Beretta has? The one with the flip up barrel. You guys know it's classic gun. They used to go around and the mafiosos would go back and forth, and instead of getting a charge of attempted murder, they'd get an assault charge if they ever got caught by shooting people. There you go, Tomcat, shooting below the waistline. So they walk up around and shooting each other in the ass and the lower back and the legs, but they wouldn't get charged for murder because it was just an assault charge. Now this is lore that was passed on through police officers back in the 80s.
That is amazing.
When you can talk in the locker room and not get offended.
Little history for you guys right there. Yeah.
If you can choose what to bring to a gunfight, bring a semi or full automatic long gun and a friend with a long gun. Absolutely. Yeah. See, now these are things that we're talking about as far as being that you know that you're going to have a gunfight. Not walking around, going to the grocery store and, here we go. Nothing like that.
Right.
Yep.
All right. In 10 years, nobody remember the details of the caliber, stance, or tactics. They will only remember who lived or who died.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And then
let's
the
see.
next one, and that's what we
Right.
talk about all the time, especially what's going to
Mhm.
happen November 12th. You get to see that
Right.
in live and living color.
Right. If you're not shooting, you're communicating, reloading, or running. Yell fire. Uh, Live
Wi-Fi.
fire. Cops will come with the fire department. Sirens will scare off the bad guys if you hear the sirens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because tunnel vision is going to be on there. At least it would cause you to lose concentration and the will to fight. Um, because a lot of people be afraid the cops roll up on the scene now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh, I'm going to jail, so they're going to flee now. There's only a few hardcore guys will stand and fight,
Right.
and then take on the cops. So the yell fire, because if you yell Glock or Winchester, nobody's going to pay you any attention.
Yep.
So, or they're not going to come to help. Nobody's going to come to help anyway. They're just going to break out the cameras and start video recording.
Exactly. And the thing is, we also got to remember that just what you just said. We are our first and probably last responders. Because by the time the actual first responders get there, everything is over. You know, I respect law enforcement 100%, but I'm going to be honest with you. There ain't nobody coming in the time that you need them to come. Nobody's coming at breakneck speed. And mind you, you know, officers get a priority call. They're going lights and siren. They're busting their balls to get there, but it's not you. It's like if you were to go do something for your family and it's needed right now, you stop everything. Most times, officers do the same thing, but you don't know the distance that they're coming from. You know, and if you got a sector or an area that the person is the officer's working, they have to traverse that entire area sometimes. So if they got they're at the northern end of their location and you need help at the south, they got to traverse that entire area to get to you. And you're talking about traffic, and then you got fools that don't stop for them and don't give way for them. Come on,
It's
man.
not going to be immediate. And
Right.
you're in that fight, it's going to seem like hours.
It is. And you're talking about, you know, when minutes count, you need to have something on your side, something in your hand, something on your shoulder.
So yeah, if you can't win that fight immediately and disable and put down what's happening, you need to start thinking about your escape plan quickly, because you're going to run out of ammunition.
Right.
And when you do, it's over. So
that goes back to what you said, the two magazines.
Yeah, the
At
escape
least two.
plan is always after the first magazine is gone.
Yep.
And once the first magazine is gone, that's the engagement magazine. The second magazine is the retrograde, which is retreat. The third magazine is to hunker down. So that's how I always looked at it. So you can take that for whatever it is, but that's the reason why I carried 3 magazines. Accuracy is relative. Most combat shooting standards will be more dependent on the pucker factor than the inherent accuracy of your gun, which is true, because now only thing you're going to see is this fool shooting at you. You're going to see hit the muzzle flash of that person, and pucker factor is going to be like 0. You know, and it's going to be tighter than the
Just leave that alone. Leave that alone.
Yeah, and so when that happens, a lot of people don't get down behind the sights.
Right.
So that's where it takes training. So you can train yourself to get down behind the sights, no matter what. Train yourself in all types of conditions. Have your buddies throw stuff at you on the
That's
range.
a good thing for competitions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And regardless of what you feel about it, ultimately, it's not real. It's not. They would do walkthroughs. Okay, great. You're absolutely right. But at the same time, it puts a stress on you. If you really out there to compete, if you're just a guy that just want to throw bullets down range at somebody else, set up a course and using somebody else's targets, that's fine. But if you take it serious and you really try to compete and you do your best, you get out there, and then once that buzzer goes off, that feeling right there to remember, 2 on each one, move to this one. If you had a plan before, people always say to me, "Oh man, that's just a game." Yeah, but it's a game that's designed for you to remember
to do certain things.
Plan to do. Once the stressor goes off, once the clock and you're trying to go as fast as you can. I don't give a damn if you're competing against the next guy, but if you're competing against yourself, just to remember, and how many times have you said out that, when I get out here, I'm going to shoot this guy first, 3 on this one, 2 on this one, I'm going to run over here, I'm going to do this, and then when the buzz off is,
Yeah, your mind go blank.
And then next
Yeah.
thing you just lucky you shot everything. You're lucky you got all the targets covered. I mean, when I
Right.
first started, I had all these plans, and I had guys giving me clues, and I'm like, oh, yeah, great. And then it got bing, boom, 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 and they were like, what happened? Yeah,
Yeah.
did I miss anything?
Yeah, you was gonna go to the right to begin with, and the buzzer go, you
Exactly,
go to the left, or you stumble and you go to the forward. You just
exactly.
forget everything that just happened. So it
And then
takes
the more I shot it, the more once that buzzer goes off, you hear it. You follow the plan because
more discipline.
you understand I can do this, but you have to have done it before, and that's always saying, especially with number 9. There are guys out here that we know that shoot standard drills all the time, and they know the ins and outs and how to cut corners on them and how to you go fast and don't bring the gun here, bring the head and do all that stuff. But when it really happens, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Repetition, it's key. You got to do it over and over and over and over. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it in the middle of the dark. So it becomes second nature. For me, when I run out of ammunition, automatically, this left hand automatically goes to my left side to grab the magazine. I can't even control it anymore. It just happens automatically.
Yep.
You know, so
And do you remember that video we did with Rick? And that's the first time that I said that word about you, and it was like, because I saw it. It was instinctual, and you were mentioning that not only did you once you got on it and you saw the sights, you can't remember each sight picture but all the rounds were in the A zone, and then you said, did I reload? And I said, yeah, that's because you've mastered it.
right.
And then we got in trouble for that word.
Yeah, for using the word master by a bunch of heroes on Instagram. Heroes, I say.
Exactly. But there was a Shiro too that came running in.
Yeah, but as soon as I smoked her, she left.
But she looked more like a hero.
Yeah, I smoked her. Yeah.
Someday, someone may kill you with your own gun, but they should have to beat you to death with it because it's empty.
Right.
If that's the case, that means you missed a lot. So,
Well, maybe it was more than one.
Well, let's look at it that way. I was going to go there next, but let's look at it that way.
I was saying maybe it was like you dropped 19 out of 20. You know what I'm saying? And you went empty.
Okay.
You know?
So you going to be on P3's team next year. Shooting like that, 19 out of 20. That he only accepts 99, bro. If you're not a 99, you can't get with him, man.
Right, running with that guy, no way, man.
Hey, if you can do 99, you just said 19 out of 20. He only takes 99. He'll give you one miss. That's it.
Yeah,
After that,
I can do the shooting, but getting up.
So
and
Deshaun, you better watch out,
ground,
bro. Don't miss no shots to run around P3, bro.
Yeah,
don't miss no shots.
Nah, man. My knees can't take all that, brother. They hurt too much. I'm in pain too much, brother.
But yeah, definitely. And I mean, the sentiment is that you don't give up. You know, that's the biggest the bottom line.
Don't give up.
Don't give up
until it's over.
And this one right here. What's my man Clint Smith? He said there are no rules, and that's what this is saying. Stretch the rules, always win. The only unfair fight is the one you lose, and I agree.
There's no such thing as fair. Be as dirty and as nasty and as evil and as violent as you can possibly be. That means you need to dig deep into you and bring the devil out in you. Bring it out at that point. Because it's a thing that you need to have into you, and you need to be pissed off, and you need to bring it forth. It's called rage.
Yep.
Once you bring that rage forward, be as ugly and as vicious with it as you can. If you got to bite that guy in the throat out, do it. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever it takes to survive.
Yeah. So,
and I like to say prevail when I do with students. I always say prevail as opposed to survive. And that's because survive, and if somebody wins 23 to 22, they survived, right? If you prevail, it's 27 to 16. You know, you dominate them, motherfucker. I didn't say the whole thing.
Yeah, I know you did.
That's
what I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it.
No, I pulled myself back.
Yeah.
Always have a plan, and as you're walking around, that plan has to change. As you're moving along, you seen that you have to have a plan where cover is, and as you move to the next spot, where's the next piece of cover?
In your car. How many of you guys in your car at the red light, you leave you enough room where you can get out, or drive on the sidewalk? How many guys in the car or not looking at your phone, not bebopping to the music, but watching both your mirrors, all three of your mirrors, and swiveling your head like you're
Mm-hmm.
driving, looking, seeing who's coming up on you. That's your plan. Because now you need to say, okay, if this happened here, I'm gonna go there. I'm going to run over here. If I can't escape, they have a firearm, and I'm going to deploy mine and protect myself in my castle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was driving downtown last night, and lady in the car going the opposite direction, stuck at the red light, never looked up, windows down on the phone, never looked up, never looked around. And
Wow.
downtown, it's a violent place down there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow, you see how these people get robbed or
Right.
whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And
Or
that what you just said is something that many people don't want to hear, but is apropos.
mhm,
It's a violent place. It's a violent town. And it's not just Atlanta. It's every major city. And then
right.
not even every major city, but also some of these counties, some of these places that you may go just to pick up gas or, stopping in to get a quart of milk or whatever it is that you decide that you want to do. And that's it. Backing in. Those are mentalities of people who are paying attention to what's going on around them. And
Mhm.
that's what we nowadays is situational awareness. That's what you're talking about. Back in everywhere you go so that when you get in your car, you
Yes.
go one way out. I always
Right.
tell when I teach driving is park your car so that you have one motion getting out. When
We
you
called
have
it
to back out and make maneuvers in order to get the
we
car
call
going. Mm-mm.
well, we had a term we call it combat park.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always combat park. So we back in. So when we got in, everybody's concentrating on the front. So only thing you had to do is get out, punch out.
Right. And that's
And,
what we always tell people. The same thing what you just said, not necessarily punching out, but even what you call it, executive protection.
mhm.
Always go forward. You don't want to if we teach and train to drive backwards, but you always want to be able to go forward.
Mm-hmm. There we go, Rod. I was behind a car at a red light one day, and the guy in front of me hopped out of his driver's door. I drew my weapon and had it at the low ready. Fortunately, he was trying
Mm-hmm.
to close his trunk.
Yep, I've had that too.
Right.
I've
Right.
seen that. Yep,
Yeah.
me too. I've had that
Yeah.
too. I've had
Yeah.
that where somebody jumps
Yeah.
out the car for whatever reason. I don't know what they're getting out
Yeah.
out the car.
Yeah. You
and,
need to be ready.
And I had to explain this to a guy on I think it was last Sunday. We were doing a drill, and he said that I was advertising that I had a firearm. I said, we live in Georgia. That was the first thing I said. We live in Georgia. What's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, yeah, but you don't want to let people know you have a firearm. And then Mike was there, and Mike went on to explain to the guy that sometimes he carries openly, and the firearm is there. And I explained to the guy that if you make a motion that causes me to draw my firearm, I can always apologize.
You can always draw your firearm and
Mm-hmm.
leave it down. Or you can place your hand on it in your holster.
But I mean, the guy he means well.
You don't
He
have
just
to point it.
I had to point that out to him because and Mike Smith he really went into it with the guy, not negatively, but just to educate him in reference to it. Because the other thing was we were talking about being situationally aware, right? You're in a grocery store and you hear pop pop pop, and you just you know it's gunfire.
Right.
You draw your gun, but you
Right.
didn't see the person shooting. You just heard it.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. I mean, we're using stimuli. We had lights that dictated what you would fire on a particular target.
right.
So as the lights came on, you had to do. So anytime the lights moved, this is the first time I'm doing it. And I don't know if it's 3 lights, 4 lights, 1 light.
Right.
I'm reaching, and that's what he was like. Well, you're advertising that you're armed.
This
yeah.
is Georgia. Doesn't
Not
really
only
matter.
is Georgia,
It's not
but
California.
if you get in front of me and reach for your waistband, you're gonna see me do the same motion I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
buddy.
especially if you're facing me. I mean,
Exactly.
it's over. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's at that point, it's who can get off the fastest. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yep.
And hopefully
And
he's not shooting somebody's behind me.
Right. Well,
Right. So that would be bad. I mean,
and that
he's
could
drawing-
happen.
He's drawing, I'm drawing, and instead of
Mhm.
him saying move,
Right.
behind you, or he just drawing and I'm drawing, and now I hit him, and the guy behind me is letting loose.
Dude, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna do a short story on that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said DB Film says he does the same thing at the red light. Um, so yeah, now this is a good one. 13. Have a backup plan because the first plan won't work.
Right.
Um, no battle plan ever survives 10 seconds past the first contact with the enemy. Which is true.
Yeah.
I can yes,
Attest to
that is 100% true. Because what happens is I have a gift, and the gift is I can see what's happening around me in a bird's eye view. And but when it happens, instead of you going dormant, I can say, okay, I need you guys to get over here. Boom. I need this to happen. I can see the battle happen. It's weird. It's almost like
Sixth Sense.
yeah, you can see the battle happen before it happens, and you can imagine it, and it's like 1,000 different things are going off in your head. So when action one happens, you automatically is like, do this, boom, and it just happens. And that's the gift of knowing tactics,
Right.
and
Something that what you just said reminded me. I used to play lacrosse at a high level, right? So being in lacrosse games and having that confusion, and I played football as well, and I played basketball, and I coached soccer, but I never saw it as vividly as when I played lacrosse, where especially on defense, where the goalie's calling out where he wants people to be because something that he sees in the offense. And you got guys moving in that position, and it was chaotic, but yet it was a symphony inside the chaos because we knew where we were going. We knew where to be. And as we were going through different places to get to that, it all came out at the end. It's basically like what he said, the battle plan never survived. So we originally set up to do XYZ, that's breaking down, but he's now putting us in different positions to defend, and it works out. And that to me was like, and when you just said that in reference to, real life, a lot of times when you play different sports, you get that, not even sports, but different activities that you do.
Right.
You get this chaos that you have to bring in to symmetry.
right. Yeah, Rod, we'll get to yours when we get to 17.
Right.
Yeah, you're reading ahead. All right, let's use cover and conceal as much as possible, but remember sheetrock walls
And
and,
the and all the other ones, like stopping nothing but your pulse when bullets tear through them.
right. That's if you're fighting in a building or a home. So let's remember that.
Right.
Me and my building or home, I shoot through walls. I don't care as long as I don't shoot up because I know my wife's going to be up there.
Right.
But if I'm home alone, I'm going nuts. Don't First you gotta.
I think there would probably be a grenade explosion if
Yeah.
you're home by yourself and somebody decide to invade you.
Yeah. Don't do it.
I think there'd be either that or some TNT or something. There'll be a whole section there when they get there, like, where did this go? Don't. That's
it'll be.
I need to speak to my lawyer.
There'll be simulations going on. Flank your adversaries when possible. Protect yours. Yes.
Always. That right there is classic.
The flank is a classic battle move that's always used, and because they will be tunnel vision on where that first shot came from, they will never suspect the flank. Now, when you do a flank has to be quick and violent. So once you do the flank, you can't get on the flank and stop in the mid flank. Once you get on top of the subjects and be like freeze, you have to walk through the flank. And that means walk through. That means nothing standing once you walk through the flank.
Absolutely. Because once you the flank basically is an element of surprise.
Yeah.
If you slow down, you're giving up the surprise. It's not going to last forever.
Right. Yeah. So it's got to be very violent, and it works.
Yeah.
It works very well if you know how to do it. Don't drop your guard. Yep. Always keep your guard up. And Rod, we're going to get to yours. All right. Always tactical reload. Well, tactical load. Well, it should be reload, but after you get through with your first initial shots, always change the magazine for a fresh one. Okay? Because you don't know, especially once the shooting has died. You can do the 360 degrees scan. Uh, in a civilian environment, you got to be careful because there's a couple things that are going to happen. Police is going to be rolling up on the scenes.
Right.
So if you're scanning with that weapon up and the police are rolling up on the scene and you pointing it toward their direction, and you're in a gunfight with them.
Right.
So you have to be very careful of that. You're supposed to, and if all hell breaks loose, your 360 scan is actually with your muzzle. Okay. So, but if all
wherever
hell,
your eyes go, the muzzle should
go. Right. But if you're in a controlled environment where you got a lot of people around you and you know law enforcement's coming, you gotta place that firearm down and do the scan optically.
Right.
Not with the firearm. And
so what I do when I teach this kind of stuff is tell people to get out the way. So if you are here, you should now be over here. Now this gives you the opportunity to see what was behind you. You're standing here at the last, wherever you were, say you were behind cover. Move if you can within cover, and if not, stay behind cover and then look in that direction.
Right.
So that way you still provide yourself with some cover as well as be able to scan as much as you can. Because as though we want to do 360, you may not be able to get that. You may not be able to get the.
And once the shooting stopped, I wouldn't be standing in that one position doing the 360 anyway. I'm going for cover, even if I got to run into a building,
even if I got to go home,
take refuge.
I'll call the police from the house.
Yeah, you can call the police from the house and turn yourself in from there. It's not. You don't have to stay on the scene. Nope. You know, and
mind you, that depend on the local laws, because there's some people that there be a whole bunch of stuff you have to explain. But if you move away to say you go, I left my phone at home, then I had to go home and get my phone.
That's not gonna work. But
watch what my lawyer says.
Yeah, but you can drive off, people.
Right. There was a guy that did this. He had got into a gunfight.
I know, and he came back.
Jokers ran up on him. He's in a truck. He shot him. He took off and went down the road about a mile and a half down the road before he go. Right.
Yeah.
But that's when he called the dispatch and they told him to go back, and the officers were waiting for him.
Yeah. And that's what
it was safe. It was safe then.
It was safe.
Right.
Area secured. And you tell them what you drive and all this stuff. And you get out with your hands up and all this other good stuff. Don't have the gun on you. Leave it in the car, hands up and all this stuff. Be smart about it. You know what I'm saying?
And, see, when you say be smart about it, not everybody thinks that way. That's why we try to break it down.
Well, your adrenaline is going to be pumping. And so you have to get that adrenaline rush. You got to control it somehow. You got to get yourself out of that mindset. So when you go back, hopefully, because that's what the operators on the phone is going to be asking you all types of questions. What they're doing is trying to break your
tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. That's why they ask you all these stupid questions, and you're like, I don't feel like answering, but they're trying to do that so they can get you back into reality.
Right.
So,
and some of it is practical, and they need to know what you're wearing, what color you are, where you're located, those things, because that way they can tell the officer, this is the guy that's not the suspect. This is the guy.
And be careful about what you say. Don't admit to something that you shouldn't have admitted to, because remember, that's recorded, and anything you say to those 911 operators, that recording could be used against you. So be very, very careful on what you say. So it's best not to say much.
You, Rick.
And Nostradamus with a gun. Yes. What Nostradamus was a pacifist, wasn't he?
Probably. He's real smart.
Yeah.
Or put it this way, he wrote a lot of smart things. I don't know how smart he was.
Right. So I hope that answer your question, Rod. Muzzle down. They say watch their hands. Hands kill, smiles, frowns, and other facial expressions don't. In God we trust. Everyone else, keep your hands where I can see them.
Yep.
Yeah. The hands are the key. So when somebody jumps out, and who just talked about that? Rod, talked about that guy, got out of the car. First thing he looked at was the guy's hands and see if the guy had anything in his hands.
Right.
Yeah. I saw a road rage video the other day where a guy was blocking the person from passing him on the freeway.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden he stops. He gets out. He has a firearm in his hand, muzzle pointed down. And the question is, what do you do at that point?
Run him over.
No, well, it just the way that the area was, the way. Let's see if I can do this. His car was here, and he stopped directly in front, and the person that stopped behind him stopped too close almost. So they would have had to back up and veer out. He would have had it on him.
That's all you heard.
Yeah. So technically, that is
Brandishing.
Brandishing. He said run him over, but hey, the fight would have started at that point, you know. And so now
What do you do? Sit there and wait, see what he wants.
I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait for him to pull it up. Everybody's saying run him over, run him over, run him over. Yeah, but you have to start. Then remember your reaction time, guys. Think about this. The average car is what, 20-something feet. So take from his driver's door and add a car length from his driver's door to where your car is at.
Right.
So basically take the rest of his front of his car and put it in the back of his. So that's the distance you're at. So now your car is not directly off from his, but it's almost directly. 75% of your car is behind his, and it's off to the left side. So now you got to turn hard, and there's cars stopped on this other side. You got to turn hard, veer in. He's going to pull up. He's going to get the hammer on you at that point.
Okay. So with the way you just described it, there's no way out.
No.
So you shoot him?
At that point, you have to. That's self-defense.
He's got a gun in his hand, and he's standing directly in front of your car.
He can't. Well, he stood by his driver's door,
right,
and he walks towards you. He walks
toward the guy.
He's walking toward the guy with the gun in his hand. He stops before he gets past his passenger door.
His rear passenger door.
His rear passenger door.
Okay.
He stops. That's where he stops at. Never points it. Kept it pointed down.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
That's self-defense. You could have dropped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so obviously, with the damn cameras on,
it was the person who was in the car was videotaping it. So the person in the car he was road raging with apparently didn't have a gun. So the only thing they had was the camera. See? Yeah. So
they got evidence, but evidence don't stop bullets.
No. So technically, technically you had to jump on it. But once he was doing all this and slowing you down, that should have been immediately for you to have a plan to do a defensive driving, even if you wreck your car to get around that person.
Well, at that point, sometimes you give distance. That's the first thing, right? Let him go. Right. Just slow the hell down. Let him go.
But he was slowing you down.
I know, but so you're saying that if the second car were to slow down, the first car slowed down even more.
Yes. So to make you stop. That was his whole goal, is to block the road to make you stop. Okay, he was doing a roll and stop.
I got you. So now that he stopped, that's what he wanted me to do, right?
Right.
And what does he do after that? Does this video play out to an end, or we just got to guess?
He saw his rear lights go in. That's another thing. You guys need to watch rear tail lights, the backup lights on cars. If the backup lights come on and go off, that means they put it into park.
Right.
And so
he put it in the park, and then he walks back and got the gun down the side.
Once his door opens, he gets out, and immediately you saw the firearm.
Okay, so what happens? Does he shoot the guy? Does
he walk back and give him bad words? He just did an intimidation and pointed with his non-firearm hand at the car and turned around, got back in, and drove off.
Oh, he got lucky.
Yeah,
he got lucky. I would tell you, as Rick's question is, how would that play out in court?
If he doesn't shoot first, it doesn't matter. He's shooting first. It's who's the first threat.
Right.
He initiated the threat. That's how the court looks at it.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's leave it at that.
Because it's going to go to a grand jury.
If he doesn't have a gun, right? If you don't use a gun and you run him over with your car now becomes "quote unquote" a weapon.
And he has the right to defend himself at that point.
Yeah.
So he can shoot you while you're driving.
As you mentioned earlier to wreck your car to get away, I
Right.
would wreck my car to defend myself. But the thing is, do you think about this?
Yeah, I don't
Most
think
of
you
these
have.
jokers are going to shoot at your car as you're driving as you're trying to get that distance between you and him to run him over. He's going to shoot you.
But when he's doing the roll and stop, that's when you should have tried to get
Oh
away.
yeah, I wouldn't see. I don't play with
Yeah.
road rage. When I see
If
nut
they're
jobs
doing
do that
roll,
stuff,
trying to do a
nah.
roll and stop, and you just immediately get away from them, call
Yeah.
911, and keep driving forward until they can catch up to you.
Well, see, this is the
Yeah.
thing where people need to take driving classes and protection driving and defensive driving. You never stop.
No.
Never stop.
Never stop.
Never stop. Never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop. All right, next one.
All right. Where are we? Okay. 19.
Yep.
Decide now
See?
to always be aggressive. Enough, quick enough.
Quickly enough. And
Quickly
you
enough.
just mentioned it. Bring out
Yeah.
the devil. Bring out the hate.
Yeah.
Deep,
evil.
dig deep down,
Rage.
and that you got to win at all costs.
Especially for you guys have families.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do this for your family. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need to do it for, because you want to see another day so you can see your family. So, put that in the back of your mind and said, this is what I'm doing this for. You know what I'm saying? You got to be violent with it.
Yep. And this next one, the faster you finish the fight, the less shot you will get. I agree with that. Yep.
Right.
Be first, be fast.
Yep. Get it over quickly.
That's not mine. That's Bill Rogers.
Yeah. That's Bill Rogers. Get it over quickly. Yeah.
Be fast, be quick.
And here we go right here.
Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet if necessary, because they may want to kill you. Mm-hmm. Just like I just started at the top with the guy wanting me to come to his Sunday school prayer meeting, whatever the hell it was.
Right.
Nah, bro, you ain't eating me. Yeah, I'm about a good 2 weeks meal. You ain't getting me, bro.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, hey man.
That's what he sounded like too. He
he's sweating. No, he's sweating. He's sweating and carrying on. Hey man, can you come to this Bible study with me, man? We're gonna talk about God.
Bro. You kidding me, bro? Get out of here.
You're gonna be saying God when you get through.
Exactly. I can get them.
Oh man.
Be courteous to everyone, overly friendly to no one.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a difference between courtesy and friendly.
Right.
Don't drop your guard.
Don't call everybody MFs. MFs. Ma'am, sir. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're letting them know you're not the threat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you hit them with aggression and with verbiage, hey MF, I need you MF over here. Sir.
It also shows a sign of fear too.
Yeah.
It also lets them know once you get to that level, because once I go into my berserker, everybody's an MF. Nobody's their real name anymore. Even my friendlies, I've been there.
I call everybody MF, even I'm not in berserker mode.
It's either B or MF. Get your ass over here. And these are guys that are on my team.
They're gonna be frosting at the mouth.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yellow eyes. I'm telling you, bro. I've seen it.
Oh my God.
Walked past the car, looked at in the reflection in the window. Who the hell is that? Oh, that's okay. Gotta calm down. Breathe.
He brought his dog out.
Oh yeah. Many times.
Right.
We agree with this.
Yeah, number one option is personal security. Is
lifelong
a long
commitment
and avoidance.
Yep.
Deterrence and de-escalation.
Yep. I'll be a punk. As what my man say, I'll be a huckleberry.
Mm-hmm. I'll walk off the heartbeat.
As we all now have seen the meme, bearer, not Barry.
And in my mind, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do to you.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'll walk off. I'll smirk. Mm-hmm. I'll smile. I won't even smirk. I'll just walk off. Okay.
See, my thing is, I know it pisses people off because I know it pisses me off most of the time. I just stop talking.
Right.
Once I stop talking, I'm done. I'm not. The next motion it's up to you. It's your play.
Right. Don't stop.
I got nothing to say.
Don't stop. Nothing to say.
Right. Yeah. I got nothing else to say. I'm just walking. And if you got something you want to do, at that point we can play the game together.
Right. And for me, if I know I'm having a bad day, I stay home.
Yeah.
Because I know what's up here.
Yep.
And so I stay home. I just stay away from people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And until I get myself under control. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
And
that, but see, that's because of maturity. A lot of these yuckers out there that go out and they do things and they're on a right on the edge of something and they just go out as though everything is normal, and then they go bananas somewhere for no reason because somebody put some damn mayonnaise, too much mayonnaise on their sandwich to kill somebody.
All right.
Do not attend a gunfight with a handgun, the caliber of which starts with anything smaller than 4. I knew you would love this one. So that means 40 or 45, 44. Let me see what else is in a handgun. Anybody, you guys help me out? Anything else in a handgun with a 4? So I prefer 9s and 3. I started off with 38, 357. Then went to 9, then went to 40, then went back to 9. So I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And this guy right here, he's probably older than both of us who wrote this. So he's probably, as the kids nowadays call, I'm sure it's affectionate, FUD.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Special.
Said the 41 special. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, little hand cannons.
You probably got one of those. I know you do.
Nah, dude.
I'm talking about WK guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does.
I know he got one.
Oh, yeah. Inaudible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yeah, use a gun that works every time. All skill is in vain when an angel blows the powder from the flintlock of your musket. At a practice session, throw your gun into the mud and make sure it still works. You can clean it later.
Right. How many of you guys can do that with the gun you carry right now? If it's not a Glock.
Bro, you tell me. Let me tell you something, bro. I'm trying to remember that when I read this in the beginning, I was trying to remember who it was. I went to one of these classes with one of these guys, and he's now a nationally known guy. I can't think which one it was, but it was back in the 90s. And the first thing he did is had everyone take your gun out. We cleared it and drop it. And there were dudes in the class that was like, no,
refused to do it.
Yeah, and he was like, we got to move forward. He said, this is a tool, and he went, God damn it, I can see his face, but I can't call his name. I just saw he recently retired like 2 or 3 years ago. But anyway, good. It was good. It was the first time I ever saw it. I mean, I had a county issued Beretta thing was
right.
Immediately drop it.
Yeah, you see these guys with the Kimbers.
That's what it was. Yep.
To take the classes with these Kimbers, they come out there and they get upset when you tell them, "Oh, I'm not throwing my gun in the dirt." Well, why you bring it out here?
Right. Or even not only that, but they're not getting in prone because the gun's going to touch the ground.
Right.
You know?
So Rod went from 40 to 9 millimeter. 9 millimeters is easier to shoot for him now. Yeah.
And you can shoot. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I understand the sentiment of the 4, and it's about velocity and terminal ballistics and all that. I got you, but you're gonna shoot any 9 or anything lower than a 4 much faster than you shoot 4s. I shot both of them. And I'm a good shooter. I'm not talking about everybody at this level. I'm talking about just guys, an average shooter. You give him a 40, give him a 45, and give him a 9. He's going to shoot the 9 much faster than. And I would rather have more bullets going that direction than one big fat slow fucker going down there.
And I'm going to say, how many people who got murdered in World War II with 9 millimeter? A lot. So it's a proven round. It works. It will do the job.
And imagine that's 70 years ago. The technology of the bullets today are much better.
Right.
Expansion rates. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaeger used to do that. He used to make people put their guns in the dirt.
Yep. Yeah. But this guy was before Jaeger. Well, Jaeger's been around. Well, he was around for a long time. This was, God damn it. It's like, it's going to come to me as soon as we go off air. It was around 93. I went to this class. But okay. Practice shooting in the dark with someone shouting at you. I was like, God damn, I ain't doing that one.
What? What? Somebody's shooting at you. Yeah.
I said, I don't remember reading this one.
Right.
All right.
Somebody's shouting at you.
Practice shooting in the dark with someone shouting at you.
Yeah.
When out of breath.
Right. And what we used to do once a month when we shot in the dark, we used to turn all the lights out. This was when I used to do the composition stuff. I used to do this every month. You stand 7 yards away We turned all the lights out. Then we turned loud music up. We had police flashing lights going.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the lights go out and you open your eye and the buzzer goes off, you open your eyes and take that first shot. You can see the target,
Mm-hmm.
and you just stay steady and you just fire 5 more rounds behind it.
Right.
And you'd be surprised. You can bring those 5, 6 rounds in. If your draw was always consistent and steady, you can bring it into a 3-inch area at 7 yards perfectly.
Right.
And you'd be very
That's
surprised.
because you did that, though. That's the experience. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's another clip for you. 115. We used to do the
115.
same thing. Had the timer. We used to do the same thing. So night fire, the strobe lights and overhead lights from a police car, it was already mounted on the range. We turned those on because that simulated these guys getting out of their cars, doing a traffic stop or whatever, and that light that you have to work with because it's not constant, and it may, you may look this way and you get a beam go in your eye. You got to overcome that. So you got the lights going, and then they had to use their own flashlight to identify the targets, right? Because they were police officers and they had to identify the target. You follow me? So those situations, they recognized that you didn't have to be perfect with that flashlight in order to get the fire, because the time is going to come and go. The targets are turning. You just can't sit there and use that light to determine is this a good guy or a bad guy. He's shooting at you. What do you think?
Right. Yeah. And Bruce referenced that it was a start of the class. He used to make it drop.
Yeah, that's what this one was. Was the same way, but I don't remember it was Jaeger. It was somebody else. It was before I even heard of Jaeger. Thanks,
you,
bro.
Omar.
Thank you. But yeah, regardless of whether did you get this when you practice shooting at the 27.
What? Oh, 20, oh,
27.
Okay. There you go.
Regardless of whether justified or not, you will feel sad about killing another human being, except for Alfonso. It is better to be sad than to be room temperature.
Right. Don't want to be 68 degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
I want the blood still flowing in my veins, bro.
Right.
I got kids. I got kids. So I ain't going nowhere. I'm fighting for every bit of glory, even if something else happens. But I'm gonna still be here.
Right.
But yeah. You wanna.
There we go, Rod. See, I need to take a low light class.
Yeah,
with
man.
You guys. If we had a place to teach it,
we can do it. We can still do it at SR. We just got to get permission, and they do low light, so it's not going to be a point where it'll be completely pitch dark, pitch black.
Right.
But
we're gonna have to wait till after
light.
daylight savings time to do it.
And you can go until 9, I believe. So if we started at say 7 or even 6, that's a good 3 hours. We can do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I've taken classes out there with low light, and I've only done it once myself.
Right.
The only thing you ever say afterwards is, he said he was going to kill me. I believed him. I'm sorry, officer, but I'm very upset now. I can't say anything more. Please speak with my attorney.
Yep. That's it.
And if you want, if you can't remember all of that, remember the last 4 or 5. Please speak with my attorney.
Don't be like those clowns that you see on TV. I don't even mention them name, giving them credit, but it happened down here in Georgia. The clown sitting there on videotape that's confessing their butts off.
Yeah, but they thought they were in the end because they thought they knew those guys.
Oh, yeah, they knew them all right.
Yeah, had it not been for social media, they might have been all right like they did 20 years ago. Yeah, but you definitely want to just say, please speak with my attorney.
Thank you, Bruce.
And in America, you cannot be compelled to give a statement. If you say that, that's it. It's over.
Right.
Miranda rights.
You guys like the show too, so it bumps us up in the numbers, so I can calculate them properly.
Yeah, and not only that, it keeps it flowing a little bit longer, so other people can see it.
Yeah, this was a great show. Next week we're gonna have a heavy hitter visitor on this show, and you guys should really like that. I'm not going to tell you who he is just in case things don't work out, but we should have a good guest on the next show. And this guy he's put some work into the real world with the military, and very high on the chain of doing some hardcore work. And so we probably won't get into a lot of that stuff, but we're going to talk about he's a Second Amendment guy. He loves the Second Amendment. He loves firearms. And he'll be we already got him locked in. So once we get closer, we'll start announcing who he is. And
Right.
thank you, DV Films. And this was a great show. This show is actually for you guys.
Mhm.
Like, share this show with your friends, family, whoever,
And in the comments, guys, if you have anything that you want, topics that you come up with, you want us to explore and do the research on and come up with this, we talk during the week because we're boys anyway.
Yeah.
So we throw some of this stuff that we talk right here.
Almost every other day.
Right. We talk on the telephone about this stuff for hours. And then
social media,
wonder why aren't we recording this?
Yeah.
We want to say we should be recording right now.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, the bottom line is and I don't do this enough, but we have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of experience between the two of us.
I don't know.
And you guys over there, that we know the guys that we know and the ones that we have reaching out to now. We know your experiences as well. We can do a lot, right? And we don't promote ourselves in that manner. We just kind of come on as two average guys, but we do have resources that we can reach out to. So if you have any topics or any ideas of a topic, put them in the chat on what's that thing? YouTube. Send it. We're on Instagram, easily found. Send it to us, and we'll look into it, and we'll give you credit for the idea too. We don't.
Yeah, we'll say the show. This idea came from you. We'll say that. We appreciate you too, Rod.
Absolutely, bro.
So with that, we're gonna say we'll see you guys on the range. We'll be on the range on November 12th.
Yep.
So we'll be out there for you guys in Georgia, Attack Bay 2. No, 1. Attack Bay 1.
Big one.
I'll be out there all day for 8 hours. I'll be out there. I'll be out there. Omar will be out there, and all the students. So you'll see the banner, see the flag. If we're out there, come by and say hello. We'll shoot the S if we got a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? And I have to watch my language on this show. It's like,
well, that's good. I mean, we're on YouTube, man. I watch these other guys, and they say all the time.
Yeah, I can say it. I want to say it, but
we have class.
Yeah, I try to keep it to the range. When we see him in the range,
we're
talk
classy
like
guys. That's right.
Matter of fact, I need to get this out.
I was wondering why we're still way up there at the top of the nosebleed.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, DV Films. He'll be out there and recording some of our antics. So,
he does a great job.
Yeah, he's an excellent videographer. You guys need to hit him up if you guys see him. You need a wedding. You need or just some
documentary.
Documentary or something you do. If you're a firearms instructor, hit him up. I mean, this guy he should be on Netflix. To tell you the truth. Yep. I mean, his stuff is excellent work. Just check him out. All right, and with that, we'll see you guys on the range.
See you on the range, guys.
All right, bye.